Hello, everybody, and good evening from the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. My name is Brooks Hill, voice of the Black Bears, joined here tonight by newly appointed head coach Tom Reynolds. We got a lot to unpack. It's been a busy 24 hours, in case you've been hiding under a rock or something. A lot of news going on with the Black Bears that we could probably sit here and talk all night about, but we're going to try to give you the Spark Notes version as best we can. A little bit later on in the show, we're going to hear from equipment manager Dylan Konechny for the first time, having a staff member on the show. We're very excited about that, and I think Dylan's very eager and also nervous to be on the show with us here as well. He's got some friends and family in the crowd tonight. Also, we got some of our Black Bears players hanging out with us, as always, here at Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. Friendly reminder that the next Black Bears home game is this upcoming Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. It's the annual First Responders Night presented by our friends over at Five Beauties. We are the benefactors of the night will be the American Heart Association, who receive the proceeds from the post-game jersey auction, as the Black Bears will wear special first responder-inspired uniforms this upcoming Saturday. Fun does not start at 7. It all begins at 3:30 with the annual Heart Cup hockey game between the Binghamton Police and Fire Department. So doors open at 3 o'clock for the Heart Cup. You can get a ticket to both games for just $15. And, yes, you are allowed to leave the arena and re-enter for the Black Bears game at 7. So we got a whole lot to get to tonight. So let's just cut right to the chase now. I'm looking to my right, your left on the screen on YouTube back home. It's head coach Tom Reynolds. Tom, you've been with the Black Bears since 2021, but pretty eventful last 24 and 48 hours for you, your family, and the entire Black Bears organization, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the events that happened the last game are, I guess, entertaining is the best way to put it. And there's been some changes in the league and their rules, their policies. They seem to actually be coming, every other week. It was a great game for our team to rebound back and beat Danbury. The incident that happened might be a little bit overblown in some respects, but overall it's been a great year so far. First place is always a good thing, so things are going well.
Yeah, well, that game was pretty significant as well. Black Bears did pick up the 3 points. That's, in the looking not too far forward, but in the small window, 3 points in one game is the best you can do, and that was the goal for the Black Bears. Win the game in regulation time, get 3 points in a 6-point game. That way Danbury doesn't pick up anything on their ground. They're chomping at the bit in second place, now just a few points behind Motor City. But take a picture at the big window, and you did a good job of mentioning before I even brought it up. That game signified the halfway point of the season, and the Black Bears are in first place, clear of second by 16 points. What has this team done to be able to, have that such a big gap across the Empire Division amidst the rule changes, teams switching divisions mid-season? How do the Black Bears stay focused for that all-important end goal?
Well, the most important part of that is what you just said, is staying focused and trying to not get involved with, at times, craziness outside of the game when it's being played. Credit goes where it's deserved, and that's to our coach, Brant, Mr. Sherwood, and he has kept the team focused from day one. People probably don't know that, we kind of had a inter-squad policy started on day one about respect for one another, respect for the community, hard work. And if you weren't going to buy into that, it was pretty much mentioned. The boys will tell you that there's 13 doors on the first floor, and you could use any one of them to pursue your career elsewhere. This team has been, by far, in my off and on 25 years coaching career, the tightest team that I've ever been with. It's a credit to our owner. It's a credit to you guys. The guys upstairs who, they don't get a lot of credit. They're over there smiling right now, but Trev, the tickets and everything, and it's just it's been a magical year so far. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Well, very well said. I did not know that fact about 13 doors on the first floor. I'm going to use that sometime. I might use that sometime somebody gets kicked out of a game.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, Tom, for that little tidbit adding to the broadcast on YouTube here maybe in the near future. So you mentioned you're been coaching for 25 odd some years. How did you really get into coaching? I know you had told some stories from your playing days. You told a really funny story at the Christmas party with the Booster Club that I told everybody at the office the next day as well. I just thought it was really funny. But what gave you the passion not only for hockey but to get into coaching?
Well, my story starts with hockey back in the 70s, so that just gives you a glimpse of how old I am. I was here when the Dusters were here, and my father would pack us all up into his station wagon and take us to the games. Back then, I was a basketball player, and I loved horses. I was very small when I was growing up, so, like most people, you want to be a pro athlete, and I figured, jockey. And but grew a little bit, and probably in 1973, I believe, 74, my father took me to my first hockey game, and it took me all of about 20 minutes to decide that I have a new sport. Basketball can wait, and I fell in love with the sport that night. It was the Blazers were in town from Syracuse. They had a player on their team by the name of Bill Goldthorpe. If you've ever seen the movie Slapshot, Ogie Oglethorpe, I got to see him play. Not only did I get to see him play, he did get traded to the Dusters, and he was my camp counselor one summer at the Dusters camp.
Well, that's a small world. Obviously, Slapshot playing a big part in the community around here, upstate New York. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, hockey movie, depending on who you ask. So that's a really neat little tidbit. And you also mentioned a team at the time that was up in Syracuse, but you were telling us a pretty neat story about the current team up in Syracuse today. So I'll let you, if you can, share what some of the guys on the team got to experience yesterday on the off day for the players.
Yeah, I've been friends with the general manager of the Syracuse Crunch in the American Hockey League I've known Jimmy Sorosi now for probably 20 some odd years. He got his start when I did. I did spend 1 year in the American Hockey League with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, and my job with the Penguins was I was a second assistant, and I would sit up top like I occasionally do here when Brant sends me up there to analyze hits, statistics, systems from other teams. And so Jimmy Sorosi was always up top for the Crunch there. We got to know each other well. They now have once a month skill session where they bring in their NHL skating instructors and shooting instructors, their goalie coach. They needed goalies to be part of that. I think they've looked at our goalies, to be honest with you, a little bit, because they certainly knew one of them. And so yesterday we went up at 10 o'clock in the morning. They went through the skill sessions, got shot on by the Crunch players. I got to sit with the American Hockey League head coach for half an hour. And the boys, I think, all got goalie sticks, which they're pretty happy with. And they got worked hard. I know that. And it was a great experience. They
were talking about it this morning when I went down to the locker room to give Dylan a final pep talk about coming on the show tonight. And they showed me the sticks that they got, courtesy of the Crunch, and also some little bit of gear to go with it as well, as a token of appreciation for them coming up. And they had mentioned some names. I was familiar with one of them, and they had already followed some of the Crunch players on Instagram saying this guy was the one scoring on me. Right. Second round pick of the Lightning, world junior champion for Canada. The whole 9 yards, very accomplished young men who are going to make the jump to the NHL here or if they haven't already played in the NHL, are going to make the jump here pretty soon. But kind of funny how like the Tampa system works goes from Tampa, Florida, all the way up to Syracuse for the AHL, and then all the way back down to Orlando for the ECHL. So that's a lot of flights, a lot of miles traveled for that organization. So when they can't get somebody on that flight quick enough, you're like, hey, you know what? We know these guys in Binghamton, an hour south, and we'll give these guys a look. And I think a lot of them took a lot away from that experience, and it sounds like you took a lot away from it as well, just being able to talk with the AHL guys for a half hour.
Yeah, when you talk to them, it's they're more my age than anything else. So we talk about a lot of things besides hockey. He's from Quebec. My lovely wife over here and I we go out snowmobiling once in a while. So he was trying to convince me that Montreal to Quebec City was the way to go for us for snowmobiling.
Snowmobiling?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Tom
Reynolds, extreme sport athlete?
No, I get the slowest snowmobile you could get, and my wife is probably more to the extreme sport athlete. People don't know if you look at her right there. She was a motocross rider, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, you learn something new every time you come to Tully's, everybody. That's a neat experience. But back at practice today, everybody's back in the locker room doing the team workouts, getting on the ice with each other. Now you got to turn forward, not looking at Danbury, as you don't play Danbury again for another month at the tail end of February. But now you have an away game in Watertown and then the home game on Saturday night. Last time the Black Bears played in Watertown, it was their first regulation loss of the season. So you got to know that the guys are, motivated to go up there and know that, hey, just because of what their record shows, it's not going to be an easy battle anytime you play up at the Municipal Arena up in the North Country.
It really isn't an easy time to play anyone in this league. We're the top dog right now, and everybody is coming gunning from you. And it doesn't matter what sport you're in. That's just the way it happens. Watertown has a lot of pride in their organization. They won the championship.
Yep.
And they're not having the world's greatest year, but they could beat anyone at any time. And it's not the most welcoming place to play in, as some of the other teams are.
Yeah.
And we'll go up. We're prepared already to play them. We know their tendencies. We know who their top players are. So we're ready for them.
Okay. All right. We had a couple of fan-submitted questions for tonight's show, both for Coach Reynolds and for Dylan. So I'm going to go ahead and ask some of the ones for Coach here. I had them screenshotted on my phone, so everybody bear with me. Just a second. All right. This person wants to know, Coach Reynolds, how did you get involved with the Black Bears back in the first season?
So the commissioner of the league, Don Kernan, was my head coach when I coached junior A hockey in Canada. I was Don's assistant for 3 years. So I actually took about an 8-year hiatus from coaching. I finished up coaching here locally in Binghamton, pardon me, a junior B team for 4 years.
Okay.
And then Don came into town and wanted to start a team after the American Hockey League team left. And it just called me up and said, I need your help here. And I said, what do you want me to do? And he said, well, I want you to coach, but anything you want to do. And then it kind of went from there. I met Andreas, and, he hired these guys over here, and away we went. And the first, and when it started, I got to tell you that there was a lot of doubt, probably not so much amongst the fans, but maybe local administration to the quality of play we were going to have, how popular we were going to be. And I think right from the opening game, the fans were entertained. We're not a real defensive-minded team per se. We are a giddy up and go, try and score, 60 shots on goal, catch us if you can team. And it's, the American Hockey League, we love them, but they're more of a defensive shutdown-oriented program. That's how they are in the NHL. I was watching an NHL game the other night, and I think Dallas played, I forget who, they had one shot in the first period. And I don't think that's what our fans want to see. So, and more importantly, I think that most of our players stay here during the year, although we've lost a few recently, but they get to know the fans, and quite frankly, as you look around the room and everywhere we go, there's not a better fan base in hockey as far as I'm concerned. So that's how it happened.
Yeah, very well said. 51 years strong here in Binghamton with pro hockey of all sorts of kinds, AAA, AA, single A now, with the Black Bears. From the stories that I've heard from co-workers up in the front office who've been here since day one, from season ticket holders, booster club members, just the casual fan as well. I think a lot of people, like you said, shared the skepticism very early on the announcement, but once they actually get in the doors, they get to see the product. I think they're very entertained. I mean, people keep coming back, so we must be doing something right.
Must be doing something right.
Yeah, so
one of them that we're doing right this year is winning. Winning is a good thing. Right?
Yes, winning is a good thing, and my dad never was my coach, but always in my ear consistently about the sports teams that I was on, and sometimes high school, college, things like that across different teams. You complain, things aren't going right, people are arguing with each other, and he's like, well, winning solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, I had
don't have a lot of arguments when you're winning.
I had a conversation at a coach's clinic once with Mike Keenan, who won the Stanley Cup with the Rangers, and I said, Mike, what's your biggest piece of advice to continue on in coaching and to be successful? And he just summed it up what I just said real easy, like just win, baby, just win.
Just
takes care of a lot of things.
Just keep winning. Well, speaking of winning, the Black Bears are the first team in the Empire Division to surmount 20 wins on the season. We are officially 28 games into the year. Game number 29 coming up on Friday night against the Watertown Wolves with a 7:30 puck drop at the Watertown Municipal Arena. We are working on finalizing the details for a very, very, very special fan watch party event on Friday night for the game against the Wolves. So make sure you're following the Black Bears on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think we have TikTok as well. I think Bobby's running the TikTok now, so everybody be on the lookout for some great content on that front. So if you want to be a part of our watch party, make sure you're following the Black Bears on all social media to find out the details for this Friday night. Saturday night, back at home for the First Responders Night and Heart Cup. If you can't make it into the game, it's okay. I forgive you. You can tune into the Black Bears YouTube and put up with me talking about the team for about 3 hours that night, along with Cole Parenti and Alex Jones. So hopefully everybody will tune in. If you're not coming to the game, there's still time to grab your tickets. Less than 2,000 tickets remain for Saturday night's game. Have a lot of groups coming in, and the phone did not stop ringing all day today. So big shout out to Kelsey and Bobby answering the phones and helping everybody get their tickets squared away for Saturday night. Coach Reynolds, do you have anything left to say here before we wrap up this segment and get Dylan up on the show?
Yeah, just make sure I think this Saturday is it the Heart Cup?
Heart Cup at 3:30.
That is a lot of fun. Please come out and watch these guys play. The policemen and the firemen, they do a wonderful job for us all year long. It's a competitive game, and Coach Sherwood and I will both be coaching. I don't know which one he gets to pick. So
okay.
I think we're going to have a little friendly wager on who's going to win that game. And as much as I want you all to come out Saturday night, please come out and support our local firemen and policemen. They're a great group of guys.
All right, so that's just something I didn't know about. So breaking news, Tom Reynolds and Brant Sherwood will be guest coaching the Binghamton Police and Fire Department for the Heart Cup game at 3:30 this Saturday. Remember, you can get a ticket for just $15, gets you a ticket to the Heart Cup game and the Black Bears game. and part of the proceeds of that ticket will go to benefit the American Heart Association. Coach Tom, excellent first time on the Coaches Show.
Thanks, man, Brooks. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
You know, we're going to have you back, I guess. All right, we will take a quick time out. We'll come back, and we have a very special guest coming up. It's Equipment Manager Dylan Konechny right after these messages.
The Black Bears are back at home on Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. for First Responders Night, brought to you by Five Beauties. So go ahead and grab your tickets and make sure you don't miss them. And we hope to see you at the Heart Cup beginning at 3:30. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Bears are back at home on Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. for First Responders Night, brought to you by Five Beauties. So go ahead and grab your tickets and make sure you don't miss them. And we hope to see you at the Heart Cup beginning at 3:30. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Bears are back at home on Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. for First Responders Night, brought to you by Five Beauties. So go ahead and grab your tickets and make sure you don't miss them. And we hope to see you at the Heart Cup beginning at 3:30. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Bears are back at home on Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. for First Responders Night, brought to you by Five Beauties. So go ahead and grab your tickets and make sure you don't miss them. And we hope to see you at the Heart Cup beginning at 3:30. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Bears are back at home on Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. for First Responders Night, brought to you by Five Beauties. So go ahead and grab your tickets and make sure you don't miss them. And we hope to see you at the Heart Cup beginning at 3:30. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Welcome back in, everybody. For everybody watching in on YouTube, thank you for being a part of tonight's show. For everybody who came out to Tully's on the Vestal Parkway, big thanks to Mike and his staff for being gracious hosts once again here for us here at Tully's. A friendly reminder, in case you missed the commercial, or for everybody here in the restaurant, the next Tully's Good Times with Coach show will be on February 6th at 6 p.m. So that is on the 6th at 6 p.m. right here, Tully's Vestal Parkway location. Same great time and same great food to go as well. I see the players and coaches are enjoying some good food over there, and it looks like some members of Dylan's family are chowing down on some chips and salsa, it looks like, and some chicken tenders. What else do I see over there? Yep.
Ice cold beers.
Okay, yep. Tully's Draft, always on special here. So big thanks to Tully's for once again hosting us for another season of the Coaches Show. So you just heard the voice of equipment manager Dylan Konechny. Dylan, we had a fan-submitted question I'm going to read right off the start. Any relation to Travis of the Philadelphia Flyers?
I tell everybody that, yeah. But unfortunately, no. Sorry, Grizz, if you're watching. I am not related to Travis Konechny. Same spelling, but no, I'm not related. But I do tell everybody that.
Okay, well, we appreciate your time here tonight. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Brooksy.
All of my questions were based on that. But no, in all seriousness, Dylan does a great job. He's in his first year as the head equipment manager for the team. Spent some time as the assistant in the past. Got elevated last year mid-season, and also he spent some time with the Binghamton Devils as well. So I normally have a player on this spot after we talk to the coaches about what happened last weekend, what's going to happen this weekend, you know, and sometimes gets a little boring. So we invited you on to kind of freshen up everything, and it gives us really a behind-the-scenes look at the hockey operation. So I guess really, let's start us with, where does one gain a passion to be an equipment manager, not only in any sport, but hockey in particular?
I don't know. I mean, for me, it was just growing up, I was always the guy to have, like, the top-of-the-line sticks. I was big into, like, taping my sticks certain ways, like certain players. So I guess just from a young age, I really just I don't know. I just liked equipment, I guess. And after college, I really realized that I wasn't going to go pro like everybody wants to.
Yeah. I know that story.
So I saw that the equipment side was my way into the professional level and potentially the NHL, hopefully. So I guess, yeah, I just love the game and I want to be a part of it. So.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely great to hear. Have a passion for the sport. Now you did play hockey, and I think you still do, correct?
Dabble with men's league every now
Okay,
and then.
that
but yeah,
counts.
I
More
played,
than me.
I played college hockey here at SUNY Broome with Gino D'Angelo, an ex-Black Bear player, for 2 years. And then after that, started working and just wanted to get back into hockey, so here I am.
It's great to hear, a local guy. So you went to SUNY Broome. Did you go to high school around here?
Yeah, Union Endicott High School.
Okay. I'm trying to memorize all the local high school mascots. Tigers.
Go Tigers, baby.
Okay. All right. There we go. 1 for 1. Oh, we got a thumbs down from the crowd over there about Union Endicott. Okay. So, as the equipment manager, and you also have some great guys helping you out as assistants. Some days more than others. Some days you're there by yourself. Some days you got a full house with a slew of guys giving you some help. The guys normally practice at 10 a.m. is when they hit the ice.
Yep.
What time are you at the arena for a practice that starts at 10?
I try to be there by 7:30. Sometimes it's a little later, depending on the day. It really just depends on what I got going on in the morning. Like I said, most of the time it's about 7:30. I get in, and first thing I do is brew a nice hot cup of coffee for me and the boys. And I get to sharpening skates. It's kind of my routine, is have a nice cup, sharpen some skates, put some music on, and just get the boys ready to go for the morning.
How many cups of coffee do you think you have in a day?
Normally I was like a 1 cup a guy, but these guys get me running around pretty good. So I'm at like 2-3 cups with my Yeti. So
Okay.
yeah, I've been crushing them this year.
Now, is that 3 cups before the guys get there at 10?
No, that's 1 before they get there. And
Okay.
they know.
All
like,
right, just making sure.
Like this morning, Sam Levecki came in with his new sticks he got from Syracuse, and he came in before I got my cup of coffee and wanted me to help him with some stuff, and I wasn't too happy. Like, he just let me get my coffee in me before you guys come and talk to me.
Okay. So, man, a lot of coffee, early hours, late nights.
Very late nights.
Yeah. So that's a typical practice day. And what is going into the day? So you mentioned sharpening skates, typically one of the first things you do. What happens next? Take us through your daily routine of a day of practice for the team.
Well, after I get the skates done, it's pretty low key for me. Just if anybody's got anything they want done, they'll come find me in my office there, and I'll hook them up with whatever they need. But for the most part, I just kind of sit there, relax, chat a little bit, go into the lounge room, watch a little bit of NHL Network, whatever's on the TV that the boys got going. Then once they go out for practice, I get the stuff ready, do laundry for as soon as they get out. As soon as they get off the ice, I get the laundry started immediately so I can try to rush my day up, get out of there as soon as possible. That's really it. And then the boys go home, and I kind of set up for tomorrow. I get the jerseys hung out, the socks passed out, water bottles filled for the next day, get them in the fridge nice and cold. I just try to basically do anything for these guys, so all they have to do is come in and think about hockey for the day.
Okay. Well, it seems like a very full day, and it all starts at 7:30 in the morning. I feel lucky enough that I don't go in till 9 now about that, and a lot of my days writing and thinking about writing, asking people if I can write about them. So it's a pretty neat little tidbit to hear about your little practice days. Game days, obviously a little bit different because sometimes the guys have a morning skate, sometimes they don't. Sometimes we're on the road when we don't necessarily have the same facilities or amenities that we have at home. So what is it like getting the team ready to go on the road? I know you have a lot of stuff that you end up packing because I see it in the locker room when I bring my stuff down. And I keep it tight in a little corner all by itself, and then all the Dylan stuff is spread out from A to Z. So what's it like getting the team ready for a road trip?
Road trips are very stressful for me, specifically if we go for a weekend. There's always something that I feel like I'm forgetting, but luckily I haven't forgot anything so far. But it's just knock on wood, Brooksy. It's the glove the sharpener, the glove dryers, so the guys can dry their gloves in between periods. The trunk that I have that carries all the tape, anything that I need for the road. It's my own little office and a little trunk that I bring with me. I pull the boys' bags, so it's all ready to go for them. They just got to pack it and get ready. I don't know. I can't really think of anything else. There's a lot of stuff that I have to try to remember for these guys. With, like you said, for road games, Aiden and Chris and those guys and Jeets, they're not there to help me, so it's all on me. And it gets a little stressful, but I think I do a pretty good job on remembering everything that we need. So
It's understandable.
Yeah.
When we were down in North Carolina, in Winston-Salem, I was the only media person there for the Black Bears. You were the only equipment person there, running the stream and pushing all the buttons at the same time, trying to keep score in my book and the accurate stats, trying to nudge the off-ice officials about, oh, hey, actually this person should have had a point, not this person. A little bit can get it can get stressful, it can get taxing. So I definitely understand where you're coming from, but you have a lot more things to be responsible for than my tiny little book bag with some audio equipment. I understand. So you talked about a little bit about some of the game days here on the road. Got a fan question here from our friend Derek, and question from the legend to Dylan. How long does it take for you to get ready to get everything done for the game? So how long does that process take to get ready for a game?
I reviewed this one before I came, Derek. I don't really have an exact time. I would say probably about, realistically setting up the room with the jerseys and everything, it's probably only about a half hour. But it's just the stuff that leads up to that. So before I set up all the jerseys, I make sure all the guys' skates are good. If they're dinged up, I make sure they're nice and sharp. So that takes, depending on how many guys, an hour. And then it just comes to the jersey, and I'm very particular about how things are. I'm very, I don't know what's a good word for it. I guess I'm just passionate about how the room looks. So if there's one thing that's out of place, I'll see it and it bugs me.
It ruins the whole room.
It ruins the whole room. So
Tear it all down and start again.
I don't tear it all down. That's a lot of work. But yeah. I don't know. It's just probably a couple hours, 3 hours, I'd say, to set up. Especially when the guys have a practice in the morning, it takes a little bit longer with laundry and stuff like that.
Right, because you have to do that laundry, and you have to essentially clean up from practice before you can start getting ready for the game.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so you've mentioned laundry a couple of times here. How many loads of laundry would you say you do a day for the team?
I think there's 5 a day. So yeah, there's a lot of laundry, a lot of detergent, a lot of dryer sheets to be used in that locker room. But we have an AHL locker room, so we have the industrial washing machines. Unlike some teams, they get stuck with the home style ones. So it's a little easier on my end than some teams, so I'm very fortunate for that.
Yeah, you guys. I said this week I went down on Monday. No, I went down on Saturday, right before the Black Bears game. Bobby had spilled some coffee on my brand new Black Bear sweatshirt, and I was very distraught about it because I was very excited to wear this new sweatshirt that you can purchase at the next Black Bears home game on Saturday at 7 p.m. Visit Bobby at the merchandise stand, and he'll sell you one. So I get a bunch of coffee stains on this sweatshirt, and immediately I run down to the locker room. I gather all the equipment managers, and I say, guys, I need help. And Dylan is Johnny on the spot, brings out the Blood Buster. It also works on coffee stains, everybody. Sprays down the sweatshirt, throws it in the industrial washer, and then in an hour, it's like it's brand new. You couldn't even tell that it was in there. So these guys do excellent work, not only for the guys in the locker room, but also for the guys upstairs in the front office. I really wanted to get that story in there because I was very impressed. I thought I was going to have to get another one.
Save the day.
Yeah, Dylan and the rest of the guys in the equipment room saving the day for me. Don't want to say that led to the Black Bears' victory over the Hat-Tricks, but I think it had something to do with how good the call sounded. But that's neither here nor there. So I got a couple more questions for you. Here's we truck on. One person wants to know, what's it like when the team is staying in the hotel on the road. So I think we've stayed in a hotel twice this season. One time, most recently, when we went to Danbury for 2 games consecutively earlier this month, and then we went to Winston-Salem in December. So what's that like for you hotel-wise?
Well, I have the best roommate in the world when we go on the road. I got Brooks here with me.
I don't know about that.
So honestly, the hotels aren't bad. They set us up pretty good. I personally, I don't spend much time in the hotel rooms when we're on the road. I come in very late after the games, and I leave very early in the morning to get the guys set up for the next day. But yeah, it's nice hotels. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. This person on Instagram wants to know. His username is King of the Hill 98. He wants to know, why in the hotel do you have to have the TV so loud when you come back to go to sleep?
I don't know. Oh, Brooksy.
It's me, everybody. It was me. It was me. I'm the one who asked that question.
I just have to. I sleep with the TV on. You can ask my girlfriend right here. I just can't sleep with the total darkness. And say I'm scared of the dark or something. I don't know. I just I have to have the TV on.
Maybe I'll get you a nightlight for Christmas next year. But no, that's all in good fun. As Dylan said, me and him being 2 members of the support staff of the team, we're typically in the hotel together. So it's good. Dylan is meticulously clean, if that's even a word. Don't know where I was going with that one. Keeps everything organized. So I'm getting some looks from the Dylan family. When I said that you were extremely clean, that might not be the case at home. What is your home cleanliness situation like? Is it the same as the Black Bears locker room? Remember, you're under oath.
I'd like to say yes, but not even close. I don't know. My girlfriend gives me all that heck all the time because the locker room just looks so much better than I keep my personal space. But that's just how it is. I try to treat these guys like they're true pros. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. True pros and keeping the locker room clean, and maybe you got something to work on keeping the house clean back at home. Do you do your own laundry at home? Since you're such a pro at it.
I do not, but
okay.
I have not done laundry at my house in a long time because I just bring it to the rink and do it there. So
okay, all right. You know what? That's being resourceful.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Saving the water bill.
Yeah, using your assets. There you go. All right. Work smarter, not harder. Yeah. There you go. Okay, that's a neat little tidbit. Got another fan question here for you. What makes you want to be equipment manager for a pro team, rather than a college?
I always wanted to do pro just because it's pro. I want to win a Stanley Cup. I want a ring. That's everybody's goal in hockey is to win a Stanley Cup. But a couple months ago, Coach Sherwood put me in contact with the Harvard women's team equipment manager, and I chatted with him for a little bit. And the college route really doesn't sound that bad. You get paid pretty well, and you work a heck of a lot less games than you do in the pro ranks. So I'm really open to all my options, but I really would like to try to stay in pro. Just something about being in the professional levels draws my attention.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It's neat that you can get put in contact with special people. One thing that I've noticed, just in my a little bit over a year and a half up here in Binghamton, is the people who are connected in the hockey community are very tight with each other, and it's a lot smaller than what people think it is. We're here at Tully's, and on a given night, we can see 5 different hockey games on the TV. And if you're with Coach Tom or Coach Brant, they can tell you somebody that they know with every single team that there is playing on, ESPN, NHL Network, TNT,
absolutely,
and whatnot. And I think your story right there just kind of hits on that. And don't want to say it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's definitely who you know in this industry, for sure.
Yep. I remember you sharing some stories about your time with the Devils, about some maybe current execs with that organization, one of which just signed a big boy contract extension. Did. Yep, probably can't tell that one here at Tully's.
No, he's a great guy, though.
No, but if you want to hear that story, come talk to Dylan afterwards, or come check him out at the rink. So when you're at the rink, it's game night. Warm-ups has started, and you throw the pucks out there on the ice. Sometimes you play closest to the dot. I've taken part with you in that a couple of times. Also, you're surveying, making sure everybody has their skates on. Some guys come get quick work. I see you out there. I say it's the steel. It might not be right.
That's right, the steel.
Okay, steel. There we go. I know my hockey terms.
You're getting there, Brooksy.
Yeah, I'm getting there. And then the game starts. Typically you're on the opposite end of the bench as the coaches. You're standing with all the sticks. What are you doing during the game while everybody's watching the puck in play?
I'm really just keeping my eye on whoever's got the puck. A lot of the times, if you're sitting behind the bench, you'll notice that specifically for face-offs, I always reach just to grab the stick for the guy who's taking the face-offs because a lot of the times you're going to snap a stick more on a face-off because there's a lot of force going against each other.
Yes.
So just while the play's going on, I'm just surveying the play, keeping my hands on the sticks, so whoever they break one, they need it, I can get it over the bench as fast as possible.
Yeah, a couple times this year, as soon as the stick shatters or explodes, you see Dylan leaning over the bench right away, handing it to the guy skating by. Either he goes for a change or he swoops by the bench, grabs the stick, and rejoins the play very quickly. And, it's really nice to see you leaning out there, everything like that, be Johnny on the spot. With that, also, speaking of sticks, you're the one who orders the sticks for the teams, right? So what goes into when you're doing a team order for the sticks? What's the process like that like?
I kind of just it's tough because guys don't get a certain amount of sticks per player.
Okay.
It's I kind of just go based off what the majority of the guys use, and I'll go off that. So if it's a certain curve, a certain flex, I'll order more of that so we have it, in stock. But yeah, I mean, Andreas is very good. We've been getting some pretty good sticks for the guys here, and clearly it's been showing on the score sheet. I think we've been rocking lately. So
yeah, close to I believe it's close to a plus 50 goal differential. Don't think it's right at 50. I think it's in the high 40s there in the stats. So it is proving to work. Oh, one thing I did notice in Saturday's game is how many sticks were actually how many sticks broke. In that game, so those sticks are not expensive, or they're not inexpensive.
They are not.
They run up a little bit, and a lot of times they get delivered to the front office instead of the locker room. So I get a lot of packages up by my office that say Warrior, and I was like, well, that's not for me. So I have to truck it downstairs for Dylan, and you kind of give it a little shake, and you go, oh nope, this is a goalie stick, or oh, this is a player. If the Black Bears made a trade. This happened a lot last season, is a player will ship their sticks separate from the rest of their gear, and then we have to walk down the new gear to the locker room. The guy brings his sticks from his old team over. They get it set up, a new number, different tape job, all that kind of stuff. But I feel like there's countless more things I could talk about. Is there any what interesting tidbit about being an equipment manager you think you can share with everybody here that we haven't hit on yet?
An interesting tidbit. I don't really have anything like that. I guess it's just, for me, it makes me feel very accomplished doing what I do and having the guys go out and perform the way they do. When it comes to sharpening skates, my little logic is if I can see Gavin Yates out there being Gavin Yates, doing his cutbacks and how well he uses his edges, I know I did a good job sharpening the skates that day because Yates is buzzing. So just that's it. On Saturday night, these guys came out and they played physical and they battled all night long, and it made me feel really good because I put a lot of effort into getting these guys ready for a battle. So
that's great. Obviously, you take a lot of pride in your job at still a very young age, which can't be said about everybody in this world. Definitely no sense of entitlement with you, just hearing the sincerity in your voice about how much, sweat. I don't know if you cried, but maybe you cut yourself a little bit, so maybe there's some blood in there too. So some sweat and some blood, maybe no tears, but you put a lot in for the Black Bears locker room. I did have one last fan question, and I'm actually very curious about this one too. So this one comes from Thomas, and sometimes on the show I've talked to players about different sizes of their skate blades. What is the difference with all the different sizes? Like, I see on the board, I see 1 inch, I see half, I see 5/8, or like 3/4. What are the differences of those? What do those mean?
All right, so 1 inch means that you're not digging into the ice nearly as much. So you're
And
getting
this is the bottom of the skate
yeah,
blade,
so
right?
the bottom of the skate. Yeah. So the skate, if people don't know it, it's more like a U. So the guys are skating on two little edges. If you're at an inch, you're very dull. So
Okay.
you're not digging into the ice as much. You're getting more glide. Guys like Dan Stone skate at an inch. And then you guys have like sorry, pardon my language there. Guys like Andrew Logar, they skate at half inch, which they get a lot more dig into the ice.
Okay.
And it's all preference, really. Whatever guys think they like.
Is inch the biggest?
No, it can go higher than that. But most guys don't really go past an inch from what I've seen. Actually, a lot of guys didn't do an inch up until this year. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the smallest skate blade that you work with, like measurement-wise?
It'd be 3/8, which is
3/8,
which is what I do Sam Levecki at.
Okay.
Yep. So he's super sharp, but for a goalie that makes sense. He's trying to get more push as he goes side to side
In a very tight area.
in a tight area.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that makes sense. Well, Dylan, excellent job.
Thanks,
I hope it
Brooksy.
wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be.
No, I had the boys over here giving me some advice before and heckling me a little bit. So
That's good. That means they care about you.
yeah. Right meow. Dakota Bond's giving me what should I do with my hands.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, Dylan, appreciate it, man. As always, thank you for coming on.
Thank
That
you,
was
Brooksy.
equipment manager Dylan Konechny. We're take a quick timeout, wrap up the show, come back with all the details for this weekend. So don't go anywhere. We're right back after this.
The Black Bears are back at home on Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. for First Responders Night, brought to you by Five Beauties. So go ahead and grab your tickets and make sure you don't miss them. And we hope to see you at the Heart Cup beginning at 3:30. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Bears are back at home on Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. for First Responders Night, brought to you by Five Beauties. So go ahead and grab your tickets and make sure you don't miss them. And we hope to see you at the Heart Cup beginning at 3:30. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. home on Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. for First Responders Night, brought to you by Five Beauties. So go ahead and grab your tickets and make sure you don't miss them. And we hope to see you at the Heart Cup beginning at 3:30. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Special thanks to Dylan and Coach Tom, who joined me tonight here at Tully's. Friendly reminder that the next Tully's Good Times with Coach show is coming up on February 6th. Same Tully's location here on the Vestal Parkway. Same great time at 6 p.m. Before we go into talking about Saturday night's game, promotion, and how to get tickets, we have some very special friends who celebrated a very special birthday here. So I'm going to welcome my new friends, Peyton and Riley, to come on, join us on camera. These two lovely girls turned 12 today and yesterday, so they come and spend their birthday with us here at Tully's. They're big Black Bears supporters. They were hanging out with the guys, getting some pictures earlier, and so everybody here at Tully's is going to help us sing happy birthday to Peyton and Riley. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peyton and Riley. Happy birthday to you. Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate it. We'll see you Saturday night. Big thanks to everybody at Tully's for hosting us once again. Big thanks to Bobby producing on the ones and twos tonight, and EJ running the social media while I'm up here as well. A friendly reminder, Saturday night against the Elmira River Sharks, a lot of former Black Bears making their return to the Vision Veterans Memorial Arena at 7 p.m. for First Responder Night. Live post-game jersey auction, First Responder jerseys, Heart Cup between Binghamton Police and Fire at 3:30 with guest coaches Brant, Sherwood, and Tom Reynolds. $15 gets you in the ticket for the entire day, seeing a lot of great hockey. So friendly reminder, you can get those tickets by calling the office at 607-722-7367, or you can visit us online at BinghamtonBlackBears.com/tickets. Click on the link that sends you to Ticketmaster and enter promo code HEART, capital HEART, all caps, to take advantage of this sweet deal. So for everybody else with the Binghamton Black Bears, my name is Brooks Hill. We will talk to you on Friday night for the game against the Watertown Wolves. Thank you for tuning in to the Tully's Good Time with Coach show. Have a good night, everybody.